You know what separates champions from contenders? It's not luck, it's not talent, it's vision. It's having the mindset to look 10 steps ahead when everyone else is obsessed with the scoreboard today. People ask what's the secret, but they don't understand it's never been about now. It's about the long game. You want to win? Start thinking like a warrior who's not chasing trophies, but building a legacy. You want to dominate? Then focus on what others ignore: patience, sacrifice, evolution, and time. Because real greatness isn't proven in one season, it's built over a lifetime. Let's go deep into the truth that no one talks about. This is why real winners focus on the long game. Let's begin. Think in decades, not days. In a world that runs on speed, where people want results instantly, the real achievers think differently. They don't chase the rush of overnight success or the buzz of going viral. They play the long game. They think in decades, not days. This mindset separates the great from the average. It's not about what you can achieve today or tomorrow. It's about where you'll be in 10 years and how every move you make today shapes that future. Thinking in decades means shifting your mindset from urgency to purpose. It means resisting the temptation of quick wins and instead planting seeds that will grow into empires. Most people give up because they expect instant gratification. They want the results before they've done the work. They chase motivation instead of building discipline. But when you think in decades, you understand that every small effort compounds. Every early morning, every late night, every repetition, every failure, it all stacks up. This mindset forces you to stop comparing yourself to others. Because the truth is, when you're playing a long game, their pace doesn't matter. Their highlight reel doesn't threaten you. You understand that your timeline is your own. You're not here to sprint, you're here to endure, to last, to build something unshakable. That means saying no to distractions, avoiding shortcuts, and doing the hard things even when no one is watching. When you think in decades, you become immune to noise. Critics, let them talk. Doubters, let them doubt. You don't waste your energy proving them wrong. You stay locked in, proving yourself right year after year. You don't panic when progress feels slow. You trust the process. You trust the work, because you're not here to win today. That's the kind of mindset that leads to real mastery, real influence, real legacy. The person who thinks in decades doesn't need applause today. They're building something that generations will remember. They know that the world may not see their effort now, but one day they'll look back and realize they were witnessing greatness in the making. Greatness is earned, not given. No one is born great. Greatness is not a gift, it's a grind. It's forged in fire, in silence, in struggle. You don't wake up one morning and find it waiting for you. You earn it. With every decision, every sacrifice, every drop of sweat. Truth uncomfortable for many, because it means there's no one to blame if you fall short. It's all on you, your effort, your discipline. Your effort, your discipline. Your hunger. Too many people talk about potential. But potential means nothing if it's not activated. You can have talent, you can have support, you can even have the best conditions. But without relentless effort, it all means nothing. Greatness isn't about what you're given. It's about what you're willing to give, even when no one's clapping, even when nothing's guaranteed. Turning greatness means outworking everyone, not just once, but every day. It's what you do when you're tired. It's how you show up when it's hard. It's what you sacrifice behind closed doors. While others seek comfort, you seek challenge. While they slow down, you rise. That's what separates you. Not talent, not lack. Work, mindset, willpower. There will always be people with more resources, more praise, more recognition. But none of that guarantees greatness. Only effort does. Only resilience. You have to be willing to suffer more, push further, and dig deeper than anyone else. You have to deserve it. Greatness doesn't come from what you post. It comes from what you practice. It's not about image. It's about identity. It's the result of waking up with purpose and going to bed with pride. It's failing and showing up. It's knowing that even on your worst day, you're better than most on their best because of how hard you've worked. When you truly understand that greatness is earned, you stop making excuses. You stop waiting for someone to discover you or hand you an opportunity. You become the opportunity. You become the opportunity. You create your own momentum, your own legacy. Every training session, every lesson, every hour of effort is proof that you want it more. You're not hoping to be great, you're becoming it. One rep at a time. one day at a time. Vision beats quick wins. In the pursuit of success, many fall into the trap of chasing what's easy, what's fast, and what gives the illusion of progress. They chase applause, likes, and numbers. They get addicted to short-term validation. But what they fail to realize is that real success doesn't come from temporary highs. It comes from having a vision that's bigger than the moment. Vision beats quick wins every time, because vision is rooted in purpose, not performance. A quick win may feel good today, but it fades tomorrow. Vision stays. It guides you through the storms, keeps you grounded when things go wrong, and pushes you forward when motivation dies. Vision gives direction when results aren't visible yet. It gives meaning to struggle and turns pain into fuel. Without vision, effort feels empty. With vision, every setback becomes part of the story. People who chase quick wins often jump from one thing to another, never truly mastering anything. They want results without patience. They want respect without consistency. But success doesn't respond to noise. It responds to clarity. When you have a vision, you're not moved by trends. You're not distracted by what everyone else is doing. You stay locked in, focused, committed, because you're building something that goes beyond today. Having a clear vision means making decisions that don't always make sense to others. It means choosing delayed gratification over instant pleasure. It means training harder, resting less, sacrificing more. Not because it's fun, but because your vision demands it. It means staying disciplined when nobody's watching, because you know where you're going. Quick wins might give you a moment of attention, but vision builds legacy. The ones with vision aren't in a rush. They understand that everything that lasts takes time. They embrace the grind, the repetition, the lonely nights, and the silent mornings. They're not chasing the crowd, they're building something the crowd will one day admire. And when the spotlight finally hits, it's not luck. It's vision realized through relentless effort. When you operate from vision, failure doesn't scare you, because you know failure is feedback. You know it's part of the path. You don't lose sleep over setbacks. You use them. You keep adjusting, evolving, growing. Vision gives you power to endure when most people give up. It reminds you who you are and where you're going. The difference between the average and the elite is not just talent or resources. It's vision. The elite see further. They're playing chess, not checkers. They're thinking 10 moves ahead, not just one. They know that quick wins are traps, distractions in disguise. But vision is freedom. Vision is fire. Vision is everything. Legacy over moments. When you think about the kind of life you want to live, the kind of mark you want to leave behind, you start to realize that chasing moments isn't enough. Flashy moments come and go. Viral posts fade. Trends change, but legacy stays. Legacy is what people remember when the lights are off, when the crowds are gone, when time has passed. Legacy over moments, that's the mindset of the relentless. Moments are easy to create. Single performance, a single highlight, a single achievement, they can impress for a while. But legacy is different. It's the sum of everything you've done. It's your discipline, your work ethic, your values, and the way you carry yourself. Not just when you win, but when you struggle. Legacy is built in silence, in seasons of invisibility, in years of unseen effort. Choosing legacy over moments means you stop performing for the crowd and start working for something bigger. You stop living for applause and start living for impact. That requires a different kind of focus. It requires patience, humility, and consistency. It's not glamorous. Most of it is repetitive, but legacy doesn't come from hype. It comes from habit. When you choose legacy, your standard rises. You don't settle for good enough. You don't cut corners. Because you know that everything you do is a brick in the structure of your story. Every decision, every habit, every response to adversity is either building or breaking your legacy. That means even when no one's watching, you're still pushing. Even when you're tired, you're still showing up. Because it's not about one moment, it's about what you're becoming. Legacy demands sacrifice. It asks you to say no to comfort, to turn your back on the easy path. It's built by people who understand that greatness isn't found in one victory. It's earned across a lifetime of relentless commitment. You don't build legacy by being loud. You build it by being unshakable, by being consistent when others quit, by staying focused when others get distracted. The world remembers those who kept showing up, who kept raising the bar, who never got satisfied with one great moment. Moments are fleeting. Legacy is carved into history. And the only way to build it is to think long term, act with purpose, and refuse to stop just because you've achieved something. Legacy doesn't ask, what have you done lately? It asks, what did you leave behind? It's measured not in trophies, but in how many people you inspired. Not in followers, but in the example you set. Not in moments of success, but in a lifetime of meaning. Discipline fuels longevity. Talent may get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going. Discipline is the quiet engine that drives everything forward, even when motivation is gone. It's not loud, it's not flashy, but it's the difference between those who rise for a moment and those who remain for a lifetime. Discipline fuels longevity. It's the reason some people last, evolve, and keep breaking barriers long after others have faded away. Discipline means showing up whether you feel like it or not. It means doing the work when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, when no one is posting your name. It's not about emotion, it's about commitment. It's not about hype, it's about routine. The disciplined understand that the body follows the mind. If the mind is strong, the body will obey. And the only way to strengthen the mind is through relentless consistency. Longevity is not built by chance. It's not a product of luck. It's built by day after day actions rooted in discipline. When you're tired, you still execute. When it's boring, you still master the details. When success comes, you don't relax. You work harder. Discipline keeps your fire alive without needing external fuel. It reminds you that greatness isn't proven in one season. It's proven over decades. The most dangerous individual is the one who's disciplined in the dark. Because when the spotlight finally finds them, they've already done the work. They're not surprised by the moment. They're prepared for it. They've trained for it. They've lived it every single day in silence. That's what creates staying power. That's what creates champions who don't just reach the top, they stay there. Discipline builds habits and habits shape identity. You become what you repeatedly do. If you're disciplined about your sleep, your nutrition, your training, your recovery, your learning, every one of those areas compounds into unstoppable momentum. But it doesn't come from feeling inspired. It comes from deciding that success isn't optional. It's the only standard. People who lack discipline rely on moments. People who have discipline rely on systems. That's why the disciplined outlast the talented. Because they don't fall apart when the mood changes. They don't break down when pressure rises. They've built a foundation of control. They've learned to manage themselves. They've taught themselves to win the inner war every day. Longevity is a product of choices, repeated 1,000 times. It's waking up early even when it's cold. It's sticking to the plan even when it gets tough. It's saying no to things that would pull you, of course. The more disciplined you are, the fewer decisions you need to make. Because your life becomes a reflection of your standards. Standards create long-lasting success. No shortcuts, only sacrifice. Only sacrifice. Everyone wants the reward, but not everyone wants the cost. Everyone wants the outcome, but few want the process. But here's the truth. There are no shortcuts, only sacrifice. If you want something extraordinary, you have to give something up. You can't have comfort and greatness in the same room. One has to leave. People look for hacks, for easier routes, for quick fixes. They want a 6-month path to what takes 10 years. But the ones who actually make it to the top understand that nothing valuable comes cheap. Every inch you gain requires something in return: time, effort, sweat, sleep, pride, ego. Sacrifice is a currency of success. And if you're not willing to pay it, you don't really want it. Sacrifice means giving up the things others take for granted. It's missing parties, it's skipping vacations. It's leaving comfort behind when everyone else is settling in. It's doing the hard things daily, with no immediate reward. You trade ease for excellence. You trade fun for focus. That's what separates those who almost make it from those who do. When you stop looking for shortcuts, your perspective shifts. You stop complaining about the grind and start embracing it. You stop asking when it'll get easier and start asking how you can get better. Sacrifice teaches you humility. It teaches you to shut out the noise, to lock in, to trust the process. It strips away excuses and leaves only one question. How bad do you want it? There's a reason most people don't make it to the top. It costs too much. Not in money, but in commitment, in patience, in resilience. It's not just about putting in time, it's about putting in your heart. You can't fake sacrifice. You either give it everything, or you don't. And if you don't, the game will expose you. The sacrifice never ends. You don't reach a point where you've given enough. If you want to stay at the top, the price only gets higher. That's why those who last are different. They've accepted the trade. They've made peace with the pain. And they've learned to find strength in it. Because every ounce of pain, every drop of blood, every silent hour in the gym, it all adds up. You don't rise by accident. You rise because you refuse to take the easy way out. You refuse to lower your standards. You refuse to settle. The path to greatness isn't a straight line. It's full of setbacks, fatigue, and sacrifices that no one sees. But those sacrifices become your armor. They become your edge. They become the reason you don't break when others do. Be obsessed with growth. Progress doesn't happen by accident. Growth doesn't appear just because you show up once in a while. If you want to become elite, if you want to outlast everyone else, you can't be casual about improvement. You have to be obsessed with growth. That word obsessed makes people uncomfortable. But that's exactly what it takes. If it doesn't consume you, it won't change you. It won't change you. Being obsessed with growth means never being satisfied, no matter how much you've achieved. It means looking at your victories as just another starting point. It means asking yourself after every win, what's next, what's better, what's possible. While others celebrate, you analyze. While others relax, you push forward, because for you, growth isn't an option, it's oxygen. That obsession means you train not just your body, but your mind, your habits, your decisions. You study your weaknesses with brutal honesty. You don't hide from flaws. You hunt them down and turn them into strengths. You're not afraid to start over, to unlearn, to be uncomfortable. Comfort is the enemy of growth. You run toward challenges that others avoid. You crave difficulty because you know that struggle is the fastest route to strength. Growth obsession shows in how you treat time. Every hour matters. Every day is an opportunity. You don't waste time with distractions or mindless comfort. You wake up with intention, sleep with reflection. You surround yourself with people who sharpen you, who push you, who challenge your limits. You cut off anything that dulls your edge because you understand that growth doesn't happen in soft environments. This mindset turns mistakes into lessons and setbacks into fuel. You don't dwell on failure. You dissect it, learn from it, and get better. Your identity isn't based on being perfect. It's built on relentless progress. You embrace the grind, the repetition, the boring work because you know that mastery lives there. Growth doesn't come from doing what's fun. It comes from doing what's necessary. When you're obsessed with growth, you're never passive. You don't wait for someone to coach you, rescue you, or motivate you. You take full ownership of your evolution. You become your own teacher, your own competitor, your own standard, and the standard is always rising. There's no ceiling, there's only the next level. Obsession doesn't mean burnout. It means purpose. It means every rep, every meal, every choice is part of a bigger plan. You're not doing things randomly. You're building a machine, sharpening every part of yourself until every move you make is aligned with your goals. That's how champions are made, not by talent alone, but by a hunger to grow that never turns off. Consistency is power. If there's one trait that outperforms talent, luck, or even intelligence over the long run, it's consistency. Consistency is power. It's the quiet force that compounds effort into results, that turns small habits into massive wins, that separates the ones who talk from the ones who deliver. Anyone can work hard for a day, but the great ones, they show up every day. No excuses, no distractions, just pure commitment. Consistency isn't flashy. It doesn't always make headlines. But behind every legend, behind every success story, there's a pattern of relentless repetition. So it's the early morning training, the late night studying, the refusal to miss a session, skip a detail, or let standards slide. It's a decision to keep going, no matter the mood, the weather, or the noise around you. Being consistent means being dependable, not just for others, but for yourself. It's the ability to trust your own habits, to know that your future is secured by the work you're doing today. You don't need to feel hyped to execute. You don't need perfect conditions. You just do. Because your mission is bigger than your mood. The powerful thing about consistency is that it builds momentum. Every time you show up, you reinforce your identity. You remind yourself who you are and what you stand for. The world may not notice your effort right away, but over time, it adds up. Reps become results. Results become confidence. Confidence becomes dominance, all because you refuse to skip the basics. Consistency also builds resilience. When you're used to doing the hard stuff day in and day out, pressure doesn't break you. Setbacks don't shake you. You've trained your mind and body to keep going. You don't fall apart. You reset and reload. That ability to bounce back, to stay steady when everything else is shaking, is what gives you the edge. Too many people chase intensity and ignore consistency. They go hard for a week and disappear for a month. They rely on motivation, not structure. But motivation fades, feelings change. Only structure stays, only routine endures. And when the pressure is on, only the consistent survive. Consistency creates mastery. You get better not by doing different things once, but by doing the right things repeatedly. It's how technique becomes automatic, how mindset becomes sharp, how excellence becomes normal. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters over and over again, until you can't get it wrong. The truth is, the ones who win in the long run aren't the ones who burn the brightest for a moment. They're the ones who keep burning long after everyone else has gone home. They're not chasing highlights, they're building history. One disciplined day at a time. Time respects the patient. In a world addicted to speed, patience has become a rare weapon. Everybody wants everything now. The results, the rewards, the recognition. But greatness doesn't obey impatience. Time doesn't bow to urgency. Time respects the patient. Who respects the patient? The ones who can wait, who can endure, who can keep showing up when progress is invisible. Those are the ones time eventually rewards. Patience isn't passive. It's not about sitting back and hoping something works out. It's about consistent action with long-term faith. It's training like a champion before the title ever arrives. It's putting in work today, tomorrow, next month, with the understanding that the harvest takes time. It's trusting the process when there's no applause, no spotlight, no visible payoff. It's having the maturity to say, I'm building something bigger than the moment. The patient don't panic when progress is slow. They don't switch paths every time it gets hard. They don't quit when results take longer than expected. They keep digging. They stay steady. Because they understand that nothing worthwhile blooms overnight. Every strong foundation was once invisible. Every towering result started as a silent routine. And those who can stay loyal to the work during the waiting, they're the ones who break through. Time tests everyone. It exposes those who are only in it for the hype. It reveals who's real and pretending. Most people start strong, but only the patient finish strong. Because they've learned how to play the long game. They've trained themselves to delay gratification, to say no to short-term rewards so they can build something lasting. Patience is a mindset, not a mood. It's what keeps your emotions in check when your expectations aren't met. It's what helps you zoom out and see the bigger picture. You're not just working for today's result. You're building a legacy that time will respect. That means accepting that some seasons are slow, some days feel stuck, some efforts go unnoticed. But instead of getting discouraged, the patient double down. They use the quiet seasons to get better, sharper, stronger. Impatience leads to shortcuts, it leads to panic myths, it leads to abandoning discipline for dopamine. But patience leads to mastery. Because when you're not obsessed with quick results, you're free to focus on the craft. You're free to learn deeply, to refine your skills, to build a version of yourself that doesn't just flash. It lasts. Those who understand the value of patience don't measure progress in moments. They measure it in years, in evolution, in quiet transformation. Time doesn't forget the patient. Time watches them, tests them, and in the end, time hands them everything they were willing to wait and work for. Play like you're behind. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. The moment you feel like you've made it, that's the moment you start to fall. Success can make you soft if you let it. That's why the sharpest performers never get satisfied. No matter how many wins they collect, they train like they're losing. They grind like they've got something to prove. They play like they're behind. This mindset keeps your edge sharp, keeps your hunger alive. It keeps you moving forward when others slow down, because when you believe you're behind, you act with urgency. You prepare with intensity, you execute with obsession. There's no room for arrogance, no space for entitlement. You know you can't afford to relax, because in your mind you haven't arrived. Playing like you're behind doesn't mean doubting your ability. It means refusing to get lazy. It means staying locked in, no matter what you've accomplished. It means chasing growth like you've never achieved anything. That mindset builds resilience. It creates hunger that doesn't fade. While others are celebrating, you're recalibrating. While others are comfortable, you're calculating your next move. This attitude isn't about fear, it's about pushing yourself to higher levels because you know there's always more to give, more to learn, more to become. And when you train like you're not the best in the room, even if you are, you continue to evolve. You don't stop when you're tired, you stop when you're done. That's how legends are built. Playing like you're behind makes it dangerous because you never let up. You stay in pursuit mode. You stay humble. You stay focused. Every session becomes an opportunity to sharpen, to grow. You don't coast on reputation. You compete like you're still trying to earn respect. And that mindset, it keeps you one step ahead of everyone who got comfortable. When you act like you're behind, you take nothing for granted. You study your competition. You analyze your weaknesses. You work on the small things, the details others overlook. You train like every second matters, like every rep counts. That's what separates good from great. That's what makes you unbreakable under pressure. The ones who last, the ones who dominate, they all carry this chip on their shoulder. They've learned how to manufacture hunger, how to create urgency even when they're winning, because they understand that the second you feel safe at the top is the second someone hungrier starts climbing. And the only way to stay ahead is to think like you're behind. Train like you're behind. Train like you're behind. Think like you're hungry. Work like you've never won. Subscribe to Motivate with CR7, where mindset becomes muscle. The long game starts now. Oncoming